Hola Paloma, ciao. Buongiorno, ciao a tutti, benvenuti a Venezia. Hello to all of you, welcome to Choppy Venice. In a sec I will show you where we are. Well, let's wait still a couple of minutes. Ciao Nina, ciao a tutti. Ciao Svalgard Manga. We are discussing pigeons here. Ciao Paloma, ciao Cenotus Blue. Buongiorno. We got an extremely nice day. And I show you the situation how we are. And we got our Said that is right here. That is gonna be our driver. You might remember him. That is normally the gondola driver that we're normally having, and so today no striped t-shirts and so yeah, he's got just a normal sweatshirt, no problems, and this is gonna be pretty much our ride today. And so we got a little tiny boat that is going to take us right in the heart of the lovely district of Cannaregio, and I believe that we are pretty much ready to go. Andiamo Said, piano andiamo. And so buongiorno to all of you, buongiorno to all our followers of the channel. I love you Venice, thank you very much to be here and thank you for supporting us all the time. Ciao a tutti e benvenuti nel canale I love you Venice. Siamo ovviamente in zona Canal Grande e oggi andremo a scoprire tutta quanta la zona di Cannaregio, uno dei quartieri più belli che abbiamo a Venezia e sicuramente uno dei più popolari. Grazie per vederci, soprattutto grazie a voi che ogni volta possiamo mostrarvi le parti più belle di Venezia. Here we go, that we are definitely slowly starting. Oh, we are right under the Calatravas bridge. Pian Said, va tranquillo. And so definitely they inaugurated pretty much in 2008 and as you can see is a super modern building, a super modern bridge actually. The entire situation from the sea, it looks completely different as you can see. So definitely here we go, we're right in the Grand Canal, and from this point on we're going to admire some of the most beautiful palaces that we got right in the heart of the city. And so just to give you a little idea, on our back we got Piazzale Roma, and slowly we're going to reach the area of the train station. Come potete vedere abbiamo appena lasciato la zona del ponte di Calatrava, che è stato inaugurato nel 2008 in piena notte, e quindi una dei 4 ponti che attraversano questa parte del Canal Grande. Siamo tra Piazzale Roma e la zona della stazione, which is the temperature. So today is pretty warm actually. I definitely overdressed and the entire idea is that we're around 10, 11, 12 degrees and let me tell you, it's extremely nice and warm. Yesterday and the day before it was really cold and freezing. Now actually it's just perfect and pleasant, probably even a little bit too warm in some way actually. And here we go, that we're slowly starting to see all our incredible churches along the Grand Canal. And once that you're coming down this area, remember that underneath this church actually we got a crypt, and this is gonna be one of the most interesting one that normally they give you a little candle and you will be able to go inside of the church of San Simeon. And so as you can see, it's really way much more elevated than the others. And then once that you pop in, there will be a little desk on the right, they give you the candle, and then you will be able just to enjoy the entire crypt. And we don't have many, especially if you think about the crypt of St. Zachary. That one almost all the time is always under the water. Here we go. The Church of St. Mary of Nazareth, but amongst the locals is always known as the Church of the Friars Barefoot. And see, we are just next door to the Antiche Figure, and just behind of the church actually we got garden actually, and that one is really spectacular. Here we go, second bridge of the day along the Grand Canal. And so you probably remember, you probably know that we got approximately almost 400 bridges, something like more. Are you in Venice now? Okay, you're talking to Anne. And here we go, that we're starting to see everyday's traffic at this real moment. Actually, in the entire island, in the entire city, we don't have many people around. The entire situation is extremely quiet and pleasant. We got probably more pigeons and seagulls than people. That is how the situation is, just to give you a little idea. So the seeing Venice from the water is always one of the best ways, and if you're going to use one of the vaporettos, and if you sit at the real back, actually that is giving you a fantastic overview of Venice. And so just remember that at night time, during this time of the year, is turning into dark, anything between 5:15 and 5:30 actually, and from that point on they're starting to lit up literally everything, and from that point it will be just fabulous. Oh, we're slowly getting into the embankment that is called Riva De Biasio. The legend wants that Mr. Biasio was a butcher, that he was arriving from Friuli Venezia Giulia, which is the region just next door to the Veneto, and according to the locals actually, he would have he would have cooked some of the best sausages and stew meat. One day actually they found a finger, and they figured out that he was using human meat rather than cow or pig or whatever else actually. That's why those dishes, they were extremely nice and beautiful. And so actually it seems that they executed him, pulling the body basically from this area all the way down to the area of Piazza San Marco. There we go, let's have a look. We got the vaporetto that is slowly arriving. And another thing that it makes the visits here in Venice, right there we got the Tessitoria Bevilacqua. They got looms that they are approximately 300 years old, and if you saw the catwalks of Dolce & Gabbana that were taking place in Piazza San Marco in September, all the fabrics, they were arriving directly from this pinkish building that is on the right hand side. Sorry if I'm not paying much attention on the chat today, but it's a bit complicated to hold, to balance everything. So it's interesting. I show you how the ride is today. This is pretty much my spot, and here we go. We got the back view of the canal. It is interesting. So in the gondola is definitely way much more comfortable. I saw some of you that were mentioning that we are having problems with the tide. Oh yes, it's already a week that we got a really low tide, and here we go. Look, Palazzo Labbia, and so the Labbia family actually this one is the headquarter of the Rai television, and so every time that they do talk about the news about Venice, actually they're always starting here. Yeah, today it's a challenge, but the Labbia family, to show off that they were extremely rich, they used to throw out of the window knife and fork, but basically they would have had fishing nets that they were collecting literally everything out of the window. Not my palazzo yet. Everybody's working on that. We need time, actually, don't worry. So everybody is going to get there slowly, probably, maybe. And so At this real moment, we are right by the area of the Jewish quarter. We're going to see from different point of view, from different locations, and from this point you see that the palaces, they are getting way much higher, way much taller, and so normally you got too many lip stains on that labia family. And the other idea is, here we go, 500 years ago we started to develop the Jewish gate, the Jewish quarter right here, because in the 1516 in Spain we were having the Spanish Inquisition, and so at that time, thank you for helping, and so at that time basically everybody was pushing the Jewish families out of Spain, France, Germany, Mediterranean area, and the Venetians actually we always been extremely open-minded, and from that point on we were literally welcoming everybody, and so we started to end up with 5 different synagogues, 5 different way to talk, 5 different ways to eat actually, and that has been extremely interesting. And so even once that we get into the kosher or kasher food, once that you come into Venice, it's going to be again a big massive melting pot. One of the most interesting dishes that is arriving directly from the Jewish tradition are the sardines, or the sour sardines. And everybody thinks that it's a Venetian dish, but at the end of the day it's arriving directly from the Jewish quarter. And the entire idea is that normally you fry the sardines, you put the onion, you put the raisin, and raisin is ringing a bell, and so it means that definitely it's a dish arriving from the Mediterranean area. Pine nuts, and after that you got vinegar. You're going to leave to marinate everything for 2, 3, 4 days, and then you will be able to eat. But that would have been the way to preserve the fish for a longer period of time, pile up inside of the barrels, and in this way actually the sailors, they wouldn't be able to keep them for a really long time actually. Here we go. Fish and raisin, absolutely. Slapguard manga, and that one it's interesting. I know that it might sounds yucky or whatever, but that is quite incredible. Look at here. So this little tiny entrance over there is Sottoportico dei Vedei, the archway, the passageway of the wheels. So since that we are not far from the area of the slaughterhouse, that's exactly where we would have had all the stables actually in those days, and so around this area we would have had different kind of stables that they would have ended up eventually later into the slaughterhouse itself. So this one, it was the feeding area of Venice. Plus, if you keep an eye on the right hand side, this incredible beautiful palace that is coming up, the tallest one, the highest one, that's pretty much where part of the French embassy would have been for a little period of time. Lately he would have moved into a different area of Venice, and this one actually is the place where Jean-Jacques Rousseau, he would have lived for a little period of time too. Here we go, and so we are right by definitely slowly getting into the area of the Tre Archi, the 3 arches. Here actually it's almost 3:30 p.m. at the moment, and so 3:30. That's about the time that we're having. Sunset is around 5:15, 5:30ish, and this bridge that is right in front of us is one of the most unique bridges that we got in town. As you can see, really unique style, really unique architecture, and totally different of all the others that we saw. So basically the entire section where we are in is called Cannaregio, as we were saying before. Canna, cane, Reggio, royal canes, or better royal canals, but canna, it means cane, and so it means that all the canes that we used to do the floors of our houses and palaces as isolations, they were arriving directly from this area. Here and there, actually, you're starting to see students, because we are slowly getting into the area of the university district, that at the real end of the canal, a little bit like, oh, nice peak. Here we go. The sun is just beautiful. And definitely, sorry if sometimes I'm going to be too fast, but it's difficult to balance everything today. And the other idea is that the big palace, the tallest one on the left-hand side, is definitely part of the Ca' Foscari University, and so that's the reason why that we got so many students that are around this area. The other idea is where we do have the university. It used to be the slaughterhouse, exactly right here, actually. And now they're not slaughtering animals, but they're slaughtering students, and so nothing changed approximately. And so normally think about it, that we are just next door to the train station, and so basically on the other side of this building we got the train tracks of the Ponte della Libertà, the Liberty Bridge, that is of course linking Piazzale Roma to Mestre, Marghera and the mainland. Grazie Paloma, grazie mille. And yeah, now it's starting to be a little bit more chilly. But if you're able to look, I know today is difficult to zoom or whatever else, but right up there you got the skull, sculpted, of course, not the real one, of the bulls and these kind of things. So definitely slaughterhouse. Thank you, Svalbard Manga. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And really, we are really happy to show you this beauty and to be with you today. Actually, here we go. Let's say it should be pretty bright. Whoop. And so that's pretty much where the area of where we started basically, and we are right in the northern part of the Venetian Laguna right now. So, oh, here we go. So a little bit of different style, and the entire area here, you have got the majority of the houses that they are right here. They are the social houses that has been built up during the 60s and 70s to help out the families that might have few economic problems basically. And here we go. And so just to give you an idea, straight in front of us all the way down we got the area of the airport. A little bit left we got the area of Mestre and Marghera. And today is starting to be a bit misty, but if it would have been a clean, clear day, we would be able to see all the Dolomites, the Alps and Pre-Alps actually. And right now, slowly, we're going to proceed to get right into the heart of Cannaregio. And so think about that normally the Venetians, once that they're planning to buy a house, an apartment or something, they're normally coming all the way up here because it's less expensive, but mainly you got less tourists. And we got even green. Look, we got even a bunch of trees here and there. So it's really interesting to see how different everything is. We got even the petrol station. Look. And so every time that the Venetians, they need to refill the tank, that's exactly where they're normally coming in. So this area is definitely perfect for families, because in this area you got the football ground, volleyball, you got the entire area with the swimming pool and all this part. But this one is even the living and working area, because we got a bunch of boat garage, if we can call it in this way, where they fix the engines, where they repaint the bottom and all these things. Here we go. You can see that on the side, right and left, we got a row of wooden pilings. So in Venetian, in Italian, they're called briccole. You are normally staying in between, and you know that this canal is going to be deep enough and you can easily sail without big problems actually. And yeah, nowadays actually they are even doing floors made out of this kind of wood, because of course it's going to be super resistant and they're going to be really amazing. Funny how a gas station may be placing interest. So, yeah, let's say for us actually it's completely normal, but if you're coming here, normally you don't really expect to see a gas station or anything similar actually. And so it's always really funny and interesting. Yeah, as you can see, especially in this part of Cannaregio, you can clearly see that the styles of the houses, they are completely different. It's much more modern and of course really different. If you're coming into Venice, if you get in this area is pretty cool and pretty nice, because you got at least benches that you don't have many around Venice. Actually, you got a bunch of lovely gardens, especially if you are a family with kids, and you can put if you got a stroller or anything similar, that is working pretty good actually. And we are always and this area is extremely laid back actually, as you can clearly see, and so it's really modern, absolutely. And so think about that this area is totally away from all the big tourist track for sure actually. And here we go, we are going to go back to the Venetian style really soon. Already starting from this point is already different. And so if the houses behind me 60s, 70s more or less, we're going to go back to 300, 400, 500 years old, so less than 1800. So I mean 1960, 1970s, the one behind basically, that was the time. And here we go, look how quiet and empty the entire area is. And some of you before was mentioning that we got an extremely low tide, and so basically where you got the green or black line on the side, Mark, celebrate 12 months of membership, congratulations. And so basically the entire black line or green line is normally the line that we got, and it's telling us that how high the water is normally around this area actually. And so right now is really below the sea level, or better, is really low, as you can see. Yeah, I would definitely say again thank you to all of you for watching us, thank you for supporting us. And without your support, we will not be able to show you some of the most beautiful and interesting areas that we got here in Venice. And so thank you to all of you for supporting the channel. I love you, Venice. Look how pretty all the cactus are in the balcony. See, Manga, they really need to climb down today, because look, there's a really big gap between the embankment and the boat, and that's the problem that I was facing to pop into the boat today actually. And so normally we are pretty well organized and we are used to it, but sometimes actually it's not easy. Here we go, wooden bridge. And so think about that at the real beginning actually all the bridges, they would have been all in wood, and then actually since that they realized, or better, we started with planks, we move into wooden bridges, we move into stones, and then in the 1800 we moved into, sorry but I don't feel the arm anymore, hold on, here we go, and here we go, coming. And so basically we ended up having iron bridges around the middle of the 1800s with the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So the situation was extremely interesting from that point on. But definitely the evolution of the Venetian bridges are really incredible. And which canals are you on currently? And so Mark, we are pretty much beside the Jewish quarter actually, so in a really we are right by the Fondamenta degli Ormesini, which is the embankment that is on our left hand side, and we are right by the area of the Jewish ghetto in the next few minutes. Pretty much between this bridge and the next one, we are already in the area that is basically called the ghetto. That at the real beginning, 500 years ago, we would say getto, gettare, to melt, and then actually we started when the Germans they got here, going to the Guglia. And so Nina, the Guglia is that way, to give you an idea. So basically this yellowish building is the Jewish nursing home, and this is actually the starting point of the Jewish ghetto here in Venice. Actually everything started exactly right in this area, and then slowly we started to spread everything around. That's a kind of scooter, great way to pull it. See, that's right. And on the other hand, actually, we are pretty much right by the Campo del Ghetto Novo. Around the corner, we got Campo del Ghetto Vecchio. And here we go. Look at the boat that is right in front of us. That's pretty much how we replace the wooden pilings. And this bridge that is totally made out of iron metal is totally brand new because it has been really recently renovated. As you can probably read, it's dating back of 1865, and look how they bend they're taking the poles out of the water, because for almost, I think, 5 years actually we were using a temporary bridge made out of wood, and right now actually they're taking all the poles out. That's so we got more. I will tell to Said Nina later on. Yeah, by the way, if you're coming this way, this entire embankment is one of the best one if you want to go for an aperitif, if you want to go for a drink, if you want to go for a stroll. And so this area is really worth a visit, and so you can already start to see that we got a bunch of lucky ones that they are sitting right there, that they are enjoying the sunshine, the view, and this spectacular area, as you can tell. And so the day is really amazing. And so, and Igor, that machine is cleaning. You mean which machine? The previous one probably, or otherwise right here, this door right here is pretty much the place where you buy the hardware, the air conditioning here in Venice. So you're normally arriving with the boat and you can pop in and get whatever you need. Here we go. So this one is just the bridge has been just inaugurated, and so the entire feeling of the city is getting completely different. As I was mentioning through the tours that we've done it during this past year, in Venice we got a lot of scaffoldings at this real moment, and once that you will be able to come back, you will see that it will be a bright star basically. And water looks relatively low. Is that the lowest it gets? No, Mark, let's say it can get even lower, and we got some of the canals actually that sometimes you cannot even sail. Is really low anyway, but we got almost a meter lower than normal actually. This green area that is on our right hand side, actually, this is a pretty interesting spot because it used to be a gondola shipyard. Right now, actually, it's an association of all gondoliers. It's like a small museum, and you can ask and visit it. It's called Arzana, A-R-Z-A. Thank you, Nina, grazie mille. And this spot, as you can see, is really incredible. Normally, they got lovely collections of different kinds of boats, historical boats, and normally they rent those to do movies, actually. Sorry if I'm going to go fast sometimes, but the situation is a bit funny. That is always our place. Oh, look at here. An electric boat. They are recharging. You can see the orange cable. We got something like 3 electric boats all over the entire city of Venice. Into the pole, so that pole over there, and they can recharge it. At the moment we got something like 3 different boats like this that they are electric. Hold on. And we got one hybrid water taxi. So it's really interesting, the entire situation. And at the moment they are doing quite a lot of experiments. So in this way, actually, what is normally happening is that they check the deteriorations of the batteries, if they are going to be last for a long time or whatever else. And here we go, look at that, we're slowly starting to have the golden hours, and the view as usual is unbelievably beautiful, as you can clearly see. So, but let's say it's definitely not the lowest actually, but the entire idea is already. Somebody was saying that the waterway doesn't look too bad. It's not too bad, but since that the water is really low, the propellers, they're moving a little bit of sand, and that's the reason why that is a bit dusty and so on. Thank you, Tatiana, for joining our club, and so thank you for all of you for joining the channel I Love You Venice, and to support us with tips, with getting involved into this lovely community actually, and we really much appreciate your help. And so grazie to all of you, and welcome on board literally today. Grazie mille. And so here we go, we're slowly getting into another interesting area, because the big palace that is arriving in front of us on the left hand side, hold on, pretty much this one, which is Palazzo Lezze, Lezze. This one actually would have been the spot where all the alchemists they used to meet up, and even it seems that even Casanova, he was meeting up over there, because he was like an alchemist. He was trying to convert iron into gold, never succeed of course, but that's pretty much why that he ended up into jail inside of the Doge's palace. This is pretty much the area where we got the Church of the Misery and Misericordia, and here for the Venetians he has been always a big important church for a reason. He has been built up in the 1500s, he has been converted into a warehouse by Napoleon, but during the 70s and 80s, the church will appear in a second on our left hand side. It was what? It was what should we do with the anchor, sailor? Keep it in the boat probably. But here we go, the Church of the Misery is arriving right now, and the entire idea was that on the first floor they used to play basketball, and so the team of the Reyer Venezia, and so like NBA for the American friends. And nowadays they use the entire church as to do meetings, to do catwalks and so on. So we're getting into a pretty important here we go, sorry that we need to blow the horn. We got a really sharp turn, because for us this one is a kind of motorway. And it's the main canal that is linking, let's say, the Grand Canal that is behind me, and the airport. Here we go, slowly we got the Church of the Misery. And so if you remember that we were mentioning at the beginning that we had the catwalks of Dolce & Gabbana, they took place even here, not only in Piazza San Marco, but even here. Here we go, we got the ambulance. For those of you that have never been here in Venice, actually, this is definitely the regular ambulances that we're normally having. And for those of you that watch the movie Death in Venice from the book of Thomas Mann, they were using part of this section for the movie shoot. Actually, here we go. That we are right by the Campo dell'Abbazia, the square of the abbey, and a cormorant just cut the street, the canal. And this archway is one of the few archways that we got in town. Actually, we don't have many in the area, and this entire nowadays it's an area where they do what they do, restorations of paintings basically. Plus we got part that is an nunnery. At the real end actually we got the Laguna Fiorita, which is basically a garden center that they are normally helping out the people with different kind of disabilities or different kind of problems, and it's a way to to include everybody. Abbassa la testa, sì, infatti. I have to put the head down. Today actually we are really lucky because everything is extremely low, and so we should be having no problems with the low tide. Actually, we can pass definitely under the bridges easily, or at least we hope. And look what is appearing in front of us in the next few seconds. And so basically there's there's a kind of a little garden actually, and this garden it used to be a gondola shipyard actually. And so, and look, the boat that is dock that is parked out of the water has been done by Said. So Said, it's a gondolier, okay, but before he used to be a carpenter. Here we go. And so look how pretty this corner is. This is the house that Said wants for his life actually, because actually he's got the house, he can park the gondola and the boat exactly here. I don't know if we're going to hit the Rialto bridge, we see later on, no idea. Here we go, we need to check it out with traffic and all these things. But by the way, it's the cat house, brava. And so Manga, you're right that we got something like 2 or 3 Maine Coon cats. There used to be 2, now they're 3. That we got 3 Maine Coon cats that live right by that house. And they are not stray cats. There's a lovely lady that she's feeding them every morning. And as long that they hear click, 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 they know that she's arriving, and the cats, they are happy to wave and hit. And this pinkish palace that is exactly there, that's pretty much the place where Tintoretto used to live actually, and he would have had his atelier. The legend wants see the water drop again actually. And so when Tintoretto moved to Venice, actually the legend wants that he was working with Titian. Titian realized that he was so talented, he kicked him out of the way. And this area is the area of Ponte dei Mori, Fondamenta dei Mori, Campo dei Mori, the square of the Moors actually. That the Moors, they were arriving from the region that it was called Morea, that is the region between Greece, Turkey and those areas. And of course Moro, dark. These guys that were working here, they would have been definitely a little bit more darker, dark skin. Yeah, the lights is just perfect today. And right here actually is really interesting because you do have the 2 sections that they are completely different. So think about that the Jewish district is literally next door to us. So think about that with the parallel canal, we done it up, now we're going down and then we're going up again. But look at here, look how we do the moving in Venice, look how romantic the situation is. So you bring everything into the embankment and then slowly you start to put everything into the boat. And so today with the low tide is gonna be a super mission impossible to load all the boats in. Over 600 people on the boat. See, we are almost there. We are not sinking. I believe that the last time that we were having so many people, it was when we done the gondola ride, that we hit 600, 700 people, and this was the range actually, and so we're almost going to hit the record, it seems. Here we go, that's pretty much the other gondola, the boat garage. Here we go, that they're all fixing. And so of course you got the crane up there, they bring the boat inside, and they fix everything slowly. And look at the next canal that is coming up on the left hand side, and look at the sign. This sign is pretty much saying what? Gondolas. So it's pretty much be careful, because we got the gondolas that they are coming and going. So slowly we're going to 600 people and low tide, a dangerous combination. I definitely agree with you actually. So holding the gimbal, holding the phone, holding the earpods and the backpack, and try not to sink. This is gonna be a kind of interesting mission impossible. Let's have a look at what is going to happen. On the other hand, actually here in Venice, how everything is normally working with the boats, we don't have and so basically if you live here, not all the time is coming that you are able to park your boat underneath your house, underneath your apartments. Sometimes you live here but you need to park, to dock the boat way far away from here actually. And how you get on the other side. Yeah, somebody was asking how low the tide is. Look, you can see the land, and that boat is dock into the mud at the moment. And so this canal is definitely way much lower than the previous one. See, tuxedo is pretty much like ta 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 tururu. Mission Impossible number 27. At that point I believe that Tom Cruise will be a little bit retired by that point, probably. And yeah, the entire idea is how you get on the other side to get your boat. And so this family is quite easy, because they jump out of the window and they jump into the boat, and that's it. Pretty much like Batman to the Batcave or anything similar. But otherwise you just wave to the first person that is passing by, and so in this way actually they give you a lift on the other side, and you will be able to get your boat and you go for it. And then otherwise actually you use the plastic canoe, or your son or your daughter, you row with the hands, and then you go on the other side. Boat parking lot, l'uomo pipistrello, sì, brava Nina. A boat parking lot here in Venice, it normally worth around 360 euros a year. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Thank you, Cinzia, for supporting. Thank you for all of you. That we are a lot today is really incredible. And so we are 635. I believe that we are almost hitting the record, and we're gonna be in the Guinness World Record. We should organize something like that. And so Fabio, if you hear me, remember. And so we are going to put a special thing, and we are going to do a Guinness Virtual World Record, more people than ever inside of a real gondola, but with virtual people. And that might be fun. That should be a pretty big, interesting thing. And so we should organize a virtual gondola tour that everybody's coming in, will be online, and they are going to join our gondola ride. Think about that. Is gonna be fun, I believe. Look, the entire situation is re-changing again actually, and the entire situation is completely different. Oh, look, we can see even some of the special foundations right here. They've done extra foundations to protect the entire bottom part of the palaces. Don't forget that underneath all these palaces we got natural islands, And 1600 years ago, when the first Venetians got to Venice, actually they were drilling wooden pilings directly into the swamp, into the mud, and then we started to build up all the houses on the top of it. Actually, at that point, what happened? It happened actually that the foundations, they lasted until nowadays, and of course the city is sinking, but on the other hand, actually the water is rising, and the wood didn't get deteriorated because having clay in the islands, we didn't have any kinds of air into the wood, and the wood became concrete. And so the foundations of all the palaces that we see right now is definitely made out of concrete wood. Let's say now it's starting to be a bit smelly, but mainly because the tide is so low actually, and of course you got a little bit of mud that is coming out. See, fossilized, everything is going to be fossilized at that point. Actually, it's like having concrete, absolutely. Yeah, in a second we're going to have the sun again. Let's say that once that we are in the shade, it's a kind of extremely chilly, and once that we're out of the way, the situation is again different. But you can see that again, fishy, muddy smell rather than fishy. Yeah, more mud actually, but like, yeah, don't get me wrong, don't get offended, but once that you go into the Everglades, once that you go into Alabama, Mississippi, and you are really in the middle of the lagoon, the swamp area, actually this is pretty much the same smell, same idea. And so here we go, that we got the associations of the rowers. As you can see, we got all the boats that they are parked out of the water. Ciao Beth, ciao a tutti. And so, ciao, buongiorno, thank you for joining today our live virtual boat tour along the canals of Venice, of Cannaregio. The entire idea, Venezia in Saorsi, the entire idea is to show you Venice step by step by boats, and using different kind of canals, so we are going to be able to see the beauties of the entire city from the best viewpoint, but exactly from the best element of the city, of course the water. So the entire thing is really beautiful, as you can tell, and then the reflections are really incredible. So at this real moment we're right in the northern part of the lagoon, just to give you an idea actually, and the view is normally spectacular. If it's not misty, we can literally see all the Dolomites, the mountains. And remember that by 2026 up in the Dolomites we're going to have the Winter Olympic Games. Here we go. Prima Udine. It's not far Udine. Here we go. Around this area we got all the sports center. Thank you, Anne. Thank you. Grazie mille. Grazie to all of you for supporting us. It's thanks to your help actually that we're able to show you all the different pieces of Venice, and we can keep up with this incredible spot actually. And so we are, as usual, extremely lucky that we can definitely enjoy all together the entire area. It's not smoggy, but it's definitely foggy, Mark. It has been a really nice day. It has been warm because we got anything between 10-12 degrees at the moment, and for sure I'm pretty sure that tonight we're going to have the fog that is coming up, and so it's going to be really foggy, and I don't think that we will be able to see much today. Anyway, let's see, finger crossed, and we will see. And so here we go. You can just to give you an idea, on my back we got the train station, the Bridge of Liberty, and so these canals that we are in, they are 3 in a row, and so all the canals that we just done it, they are on our right hand side actually, and see, you're right, we need to make money just in case if I'm dropping the phone, otherwise no more live. But the new phone is on the way, and so I'm just checking which is gonna be the best phone to buy for the live stream, and we need a new phone actually. It's time. Foggy makes more sense. My smoggy was in quotes because it was a short. No, but you're right, Mark. No, I'm not saying anything. It seems quiet. It's dead. It's super quiet. There's nobody around. Fabio, if you are connected, just let us know how many people are in Venice today. How many people booked rooms around Venice. I believe that we are really iPhone 17, that is the idea actually. I was more for about 505 or the 356, but I'm not quite sure. Between the 505 and 356. Let's have a look. But it's a good idea anyway, being ahead of time. But Beth, the entire area is really quiet. But normally around January is always really quiet. We got a carnival that is around the corner, but it's going to take a while. Let me see. Here we go. 14% more or less bookings, and so it's pretty deserted. Is Venice currently allowing visitors? Wondering why so few folks. Italy at this real moment is the country with more restrictions than anybody else actually, and so that's probably why that we don't have many people that they are coming in town, because the situation is a bit fragile. Not for COVID problems, but mainly for the massive restrictions that we got around. That's probably why that a lot are moving in different areas. So here we go. But think about that. We don't have manga. That is an idea. The only thing is that I don't think that we're going to have many celebrations for Carnival. And so the friends that they're normally coming here in Venice for Carnival, that I know, it's a big massive group of something like 100, 150 people, and all of them, they said we don't want to come because it's not going to be fun. And so the majority of the people that are coming with the costumes, I don't think that they are coming this year. So it's going to be 2 years in a row that we will not be celebrating Carnival as usual, and so it's going to be an extremely quiet Carnival, this one. We might have few people arriving, but not the normal people. We are not even having the Wing of the Dove, that for us is the beginning, the inauguration of the Carnival. Look at there. You should be able to recognize the smile. Amazon delivery. Sorry. That is quite funny. Yes, people are wearing masks already. We are forced to wear masks 24/7, inside, outside, all the time. We are not allowed to wear masks. We must wear masks everywhere actually. Yeah, let's say that probably. Thank you, Carol. Grazie. Yeah, by the way, here we go. We are right by the area of Sant'Alvise. If you're coming this way, down there we got a great park to enjoy the quiet area of Cannaregio. Sorry that I don't feel the hand anymore. Give me a second. With the wind is. Sorry. Coming. Here we go. Just a second. Almost there. Here we go. Yeah, think about that. In our tours, actually, we saw many. We saw the main hospital with the graffiti in the facade. This one, that is this pinkish one on our left-hand side, is more like the nursing home for the elderly people here in Venice. Welcome, Venice Drill. And thank you to all of you again for supporting and watching us from your homes, and we really hope that you are having fun and you are enjoying this area while that you are waiting to come to be here in Venice for real, actually. So we really hope that you are enjoying this lovely area. Getting lots of new people. See, I saw it. And so today actually is pretty interesting. I believe that they are all Canadians, that they are having a lot of snowstorms and they are pretty much buried at home, unfortunately for them, and they need to kill time. Sorry, jokes. So it seems a good time to visit Venice, but are there restrictions on travelers coming into Italy? Mark, at this real moment, if you want to come to Italy, you need a green pass, or at least it means that you need to have free shots for the vaccine. Otherwise, you cannot go inside of hotels, restaurants, churches, public transportations, or anything like that. And so that's how heavy the restrictions are, actually. And but we are still welcoming people, but remember that you will be wearing masks all the time. Oh, look at here, gondola parking lot inside. And here we go. This area, this canal especially, is one of the one that I like best. And look, we're pretty much getting thank you, Tony, thank you for supporting. I hope that you will be back to Venice, you and everybody actually, into Venice soon. And we are right by the area of the church of Madonna dell'Orto, the Virgin Mary of the Vegetable Garden, and we are just behind the Arab district. And so basically the Arab district is on our right hand side. Drill, if you're renting an apartment here in Venice, actually it depends where it's going to be, but you might rent it for something like 500, 600, 700, 1000 euros a month, actually. And that kind of rent, if you're renting an apartment itself, it depends where it's going to be located, where it's going to be, and all these kind of things. But of course you got different kind of prices. If you're coming down into Cannaregio, normally it's always a great idea. Just remember that you need to move here and there, of course walking around. Look what is arriving right now, that we got the palace with the camel. So it means that this would have been the district where the Arabs, they would live actually. And we are just behind all the other sections that we just saw it. In front of us, we are still having part of the nunnery, but it used to be the funny farm, the hospital for mental diseases actually too. Nowadays, it's the nursing home for the elderly people. So the view is just terrific, and look at the reflections that we got into the sea right now. It's really unbelievable. So remember, if you're coming to Venice, don't miss the opportunity to come here, but even sleeping in this area, it's a fantastic spot actually. And so right now it's super quiet, but even during the touristic season it's always really quiet, and so almost all the time we're really lucky. But I wonder if they would rent me an apartment just for 2 months. Probably not. Well, let's say, especially right now, actually, since that the city is so empty, I believe that they don't mind to rent the apartment for 1 or 2 months. And so it shouldn't be a big deal. It shouldn't be a big problem, actually. So just check it out. But if you start to send a bunch of emails, for sure you will be getting a lot of answers, because as you figure it out, we got only the 14% of the city that is occupied, and so we got only 50,000 of inhabitants that live in Venice right now. So it means that the majority of the city is totally empty actually. And so we got a lot of empty apartments. I believe that we got a lot of people that they are going to be happy to rent you the apartment even for 1 or 2 months. Of course, it depends where it's going to be, the locations, if it's going to be super fancy, or singing Igor, not really today actually. The situation, the balance is kind of funny at the moment. It's definitely bad for business actually, and so the tourism business at the moment is the one that is suffering more than anything else actually. And think about all the families that they work behind of a hotel or whatever actually, and so the situation is interesting. Think about that. Normally in Venice you got 80,000 commuters a day, 300,000 tourists a day. So 300 is empty. So are shops, restaurants, hotels open? The majority, they're all closed actually, and the majority is all shut it down actually. So if you're coming back to Venice, everything is super quiet. Their issue of the day is that the majority of Renzo Rosso, and so the owner of Diesel, the clothing company, he just bought a shop in St. Mark's Square for 9 million euros actually. And so, but that's pretty, but even in St. Mark's Square, everything is pretty much deserted, quiet, restaurants are closed, so it's different. It's totally different than what you remember or what you think about. So we see, finger crossed, and let's see who is going to survive. That's the other idea. Once again, thank you for supporting our channel. Grazie mille. Pigeons though, as usual, actually, I'm still going to Piazza San Marco, to St. Mark's Square to feed the pigeons. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. Otherwise, they are going to get really thin and they won't be able, they will be starving to death pretty much. And so, just to give you the idea, we are right in the northern part of the lagoon. At this real moment, we got Murano that is in front of us, so the green island with all the trees. That one is the area of the cemetery, and so San Michele. Give me a second. Sai? Dove che andiamo? Va verso destra. Di qua ti può andare giù in Canal Grande o no? Sì. No, ma di qua è senso unico adesso, giusto? Va bene. Sì, lo so. Sì, sorry that we were discussing how to move around because this section is going to be a kind of choppy. Provo ad andare verso destra, sai. There we go. That we're going to have the autonomy of 10 extra minutes approximately. With the new app actually is eating the entire battery, unfortunately, and the entire battery is totally gone basically. Sorry about that, but with the new functions is interesting. Thank you to all of you. Really happy that you are enjoying the tour. That is great, and so we are really happy that you are having fun and you are having a great time with the tour. Grazie mille. Let's say the feeling of having the entire city completely closed with no people around is pretty much like last year basically. There's literally nobody around. And so last year that we were in a soft lockdown, we are back to that point. And so finger crossed and hope that everything is going to open up soon and we're going to go back to normality. Unfortunately, yeah, Manga, you're right, good thing for the battery, but the problem is that during winter when it's extremely cold, it's affecting the battery that is dropping really quick, but the app that we're using to transmit, they just change a lot of function and it's really interesting. It's really interesting how everything is changing. They added up some extra functions and that's probably why that the battery is dropping dead slowly, or at least way much faster. Look, the friends that are with the little boat. He's got the dog in the hand. Sorry, it is getting choppy. But this is pretty much the area where we got Fondamenta Nove, and that's pretty much normally where you catch the boat to go to Murano, Burano, and so, yeah, I mean, they're kids, they're friends, they're really young, and normally they're having fun. Oh, the highlight of our tour, the boat of the rubbish collection. That is a kind of cool. But think about it, that once that you're coming in the northern part, we are just close by the area of the hospital, and the bell tower that you see on the distance, that's pretty much the area of San Francesco della Vigna. And so that entire area is really interesting because there's a real vineyard in the garden of the monastery, and normally there we got approximately, and the vineyard is almost 1100 years old actually. Yeah, for us this area is the main junction, is the main area where we got all the boats coming and going. Grazie mille a tutti, thank you to all of you for that you join us today actually. Grazie mille, and thank you again to all of you for supporting. That is always extremely important. A garbage boat. We have a garbage truck. Yeah, we got definitely the garbage boats here, and the boat that we just passed us is the gardening boat. Mainly that's the entire idea. But and so if you are wondering how the people they end up into the hospital, right in front of us over there we got the main entrance to get into the pronto soccorso, better into the emergency room. So you call the ambulance, they go there, they drop you off over there, and here we go. Well, here we go. This is the beauty of the northern part of the lagoon. Folks, I believe that I have to leave you, unfortunately, because I got probably 2 more seconds with the battery. It has been fun. Grazie mille for following us. Thank you for watching. I love you, Venice. Thank you for supporting us, and grazie all the time. And so stay tuned, because we're going to have more and more ideas and more shows that they are coming up next. And so I hope to see you again soon, and have a great day. And yeah, as Renato is saying, please don't forget to give us a like, subscribe. Grazie mille for supporting our ideas and our channel. That's why this way I can buy a new phone and we can keep going with the live chat around Venice. Arrivederci, ciao a tutti, alla prossima, ciao!